Hello, I'm a duck. Want to do something different? Let's play a game. So with it being spooky season, I have a lot of different habits that I get into. Watching scary movies, listening to scary stories on YouTube, reading horror novels, the list goes on. To be honest, the only season I do more for is winter. I am chaotic during that time and fully accept it, but we're here to talk about one of my more prevalent spooky season traditions: playing survival horror video games. What better way to celebrate all of this could I have chosen? Survival horror is just about my favorite genre of video game. Managing resources for survival in some type of fear-driven environment is one of the most exhilarating experiences that I could, not actually have. On top of that, the puzzle-solving aspect of it really fills this empty void in me. Truly, I love video games in their entirety. There's plenty that you can learn from them when playing. You just have to be open-minded. So what are we doing here? What are we playing? First, I must introduce you to Capcom, a game developer responsible for creating some of my most adored video game franchises, as well as my absolute favorite. We'll talk about that some other time. I'd say that for about the last few years, Capcom has been batting 1,000 when it comes to video games, and I fully expect that to continue. They're not paying me, so don't worry, these are my fully authentic thoughts. Even if they did pay me, I'd be very truthful about how I feel here. I genuinely believe that they are one of the best publishers/developers out there, with some of the greatest IPs over the last couple decades. That being said, they're not without their faults. Real fans forgive, but we don't forget. Like when there were ads in Street Fighter, on the fighters. Or when they pushed Ninja Theory to completely change one of the most iconic video game characters in the last 20 years. Yeah, there were some fumbles there. I'll say it was a good game. Hell, it's still a good game. They just should have named it something different. That would have solved 90% of the backlash. We're not here to talk about that. You see the rabbit hole I almost got sucked down? Kind of scary. Main topic time, because I get distracted. So, recently I decided to revisit my childhood and play one of my most favorite games ever. A zombie game that started strong from Capcom, but in later iterations might have missed the mark. No, not Resident Evil. Recently, RE's been doing great, by the way. I'm talking about Dead Rising. Specifically, the first Dead Rising. This game was amazing, accomplishing a great Capcom staple, creating the stupidest situation a person could find themselves in and making it the most fun gameplay ever. Think about how ridiculous this is. A reporter hears about civil unrest happening in the most boring Colorado city, decides to fly in by helicopter without knowing beforehand that the military is cordoned the place off, hops out at this place's only mall, and finds out he's stuck in the middle of a zombie infestation. What? That's just the start of this crazy situation. This isn't a retrospective, so we'll get to the real reason I brought this up in the first place. See, I decided to play this game again way back towards the beginning of this year because of one man.
Burleezy! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome back to my crib, bro, or my desk at least. You feel me? Because I got the rest of this blocked up.
Knowing what kind of things he was about to run into kind of had me reeling with excitement. It brought back all my childhood immediately. It's been a long time since a big video game has just been dumb fun. I honestly miss that, which is why I probably got so enthralled replaying this. In fact, I sought out every trophy this time around. Yes, even 7-Day Survivor. The most recent trophy I got was Tour Guide and Frank the Pimp. That last one is definitely going to be renamed in the remake. Yes, I will be playing the hell out of that too, because I forgot to mention, I got 7-Day Survivor 8 days before they announced that the remake was a thing. I couldn't just stop, so I decided to finish them all out. Escorting 8 female survivors was a chore, beyond chores, but I got it. Not only did I have to balance not letting any of these ladies die, but I had to literally not be in certain places at certain times so that I could allow some people to spawn. When survivors aren't with you, their health ticks down slowly, so leaving them in another area too long isn't an option. Because of when I got there, and what I had done before that, I essentially boxed myself into a puzzle of my own making. Here's a quick breakdown. I rescue these 2 sisters at 12 p.m. on day 2. I also get a call about 4 women being held hostage by this grotesque individual in a different location. I use that word for her for a reason. If you know, you know. Use the bathroom shortcut to get there quickly, but then I realize that I went too soon and go back. Why is that a problem? Because the other 2 women I need to save are in these 2 areas separately, and they both appear at 1 p.m. It's 12:30. Okay, Sofa. Just wait 30 in-game minutes. It's not like it's really a 30-minute wait. Remember what I said about leaving survivors earlier? It shouldn't count, right? The 3 women being held? Right? It shouldn't count. Wrong. Only one of them is needed for the event, so the game treats the 3 of them like I already found them. But, it won't show me their health because they weren't already following me. Well, Sofa, looks like you gotta start over. When did you last save? Right after I came back before I realized this was a problem. If I take too long rescuing the 4th, that 5th woman in the area just doesn't show up. So I have 30 in-game minutes, so 3, to get here, kill the boss, free the ladies, leave, and hope they don't die before 1 p.m. Then I had to come back and try my best to get them to survive getting to the shortcut just so I can save the 8th and final woman from a cult during their rainy day Green Goblin cosplay. You have no idea how many times I did this. Eventually I succeeded because I do that. The entire ordeal was pretty impactful. I love puzzles, so unknowingly boxing myself into one and finding a way out was actually pretty fun. It also shows me that art isn't the only thing I do that with. Shocker, I know. Needless to say, I was inspired to do a bit of art based on the situation, and that's what you've been seeing off to the side this entire time. Usually, my muse is sound-based and helps me build a story in my head, but sometimes the story plays out first. When that happens, the art just can't help but come to fruition and tell that story to everyone.